second. Okay, so today I'm gonna work on getting some of the stuff sorted back out, get the grill back on, maybe hang some temporary headlights. I had to jump back there for a second because as soon as I shut the truck off, I was actually able to hear a hiss coming from my air system leaking, which I noticed it was leaking down a little too fast, so I tried to fix it while I had the motor out, and I just found the new leak because apparently one of my plastic lines sat on the exhaust. What do you know? So I'll have to put a new line in there and get that one zip tied up and out of the way. But let's get on to it. LED light pods. I've got quite the collection over the years. Long temporary solution. No. That might be a solution right there. It's pretty good. Don't put too wide. Once I move it up there and go down the bumper. That might be ideal. Yeah, that's something I'm going to do. Can you build a bracket open side by side in here? You want me to close the and I'll leave it open the top there. Which, just out of curiosity. Oh, so almost fits. It looks stupid, But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And you know what? I'm even thinking about, because I don't really like drilling holes and I don't care for these that much anymore, I might even just grind this a little bit and weld the bracket right to a piece of flat bar. Set them so that they're exactly side by side. You know, square them off of their faces. I got a little thinking to do, so. Yeah, I know, my bench is messy. It gets this way after big projects, and I never got around to cleaning it. Cut me some slack. pretty old world, but you know, not exactly heavy. Alright, so now I just gotta make a little L bracket to go up to the nut. Alright, so it's not perfect by absolutely no means, but it makes it where I could be able to drive this truck. Oh man, I did something dumb. I put the fog light on the outside on this side, and I put it in the inside on this side. Now, hopefully no one will pay that close up of attention to them. This is purely just so I could drive at night. Looks good, looks good. Yeah? Okay, so we're under the truck now. And you see this blue line right here? That is the one that's leaking right now, because I guess when I set it in there, I wasn't paying that close of attention, and it ended up touching ever so lightly on the exhaust. It needed to be zip tied up a little better. And that is the main feed line for all the pressure that goes into my the name escapes me right now, but it's important. So I'm going to pull this line out, use it to measure up a new one, cut a new one, get it in here, and zip tie it up just a little better. So you can probably just barely see it, but right there is where it burned through from just kissing the exhaust. So I'm going to get that fixed up. Okay, so I got my new hose cut. Now it's a matter of getting it back in here with one hand. Luckily I use quick connect fittings on a lot of this stuff. It makes it a lot easier to just push connect them. So that's installed on the tank now. Go around this way. Get this shoved up over the exhaust again. Oi! Oi! Reach over here, let's plug her in. Okay, so we are connected on both ends. Now we just gotta do the part that keeps it from getting caught up and stuff, so I'll get back to you in a sec. So what I ended up doing is I drilled a little hole in what used to be the floor of the cab, since now I had to elevate this section so it's not the floor anymore. And I put a little zip tie in there to keep it looped up and over top of the exhaust so it won't touch. Since we're down here, something that needs to be dealt with is this exhaust flange here. It is leaking, and it is leaking really bad. I'm not exactly sure. I can't really see in there, but I think what's wrong with it is that the flange didn't sit square like it needed to, and because of that it's got a hole going through it. It sounds terrible. The truck has an awful exhaust leak going down the road, and I think this flange, it might even be opened up on the far side, and that might be where most of the noise is coming from. I do remember having a hard time with this. It's got me tempted to just chop off this V-band because it's cheap and it doesn't work so good, and buying a band clamp and just going over the whole thing, and if it leaks a tiny bit, that's a huge improvement over what it was doing. And you know what I don't understand? Why does it look like the bottom of my transmission caught on fire? It's sooty. I guess it's exhaust soot, but I don't know where it came from. I guess maybe that one, because that's the only one that That one's kind of in line with it, but hey, whatever. These wires got to get hooked up too. That's my reverse lights. Not super critical to me. Their other end is over there. It's not a high quality connection. It's something that's got to get dealt with in the future again, probably. So, but not right now is a problem. Alright, so I tightened up the clamp down there. Hopefully that kind of dealt with, help close the gap some. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds a lot better. Oh, but I can really feel it still. It's still a bad leak. So, despite the fact that I welded this whole thing together as one unit when I was assembling it, I don't know how well you can tell, but up there it's still got a big old opening in it, and I don't know why it did that. The pipes kind of sort of went and broke apart, you know, like they're out of alignment, despite having welded it, you know, having the band assembled when welding the rest of this pipe together. So I don't get why it did that. I'm wondering if there's a way, if maybe I pull down on the header a little bit, it might get the alignment right to where I could just slam the band on and forget about it, but I don't know. Alright, so I took it off and repositioned it and ran it down super tight. Hopefully that fixed it. I'm not sure. Let's fire it up and listen. Okay, so feeling around it with my hand, I can still feel a little air puffing out the top side, but it is a lot better than it was. Biggest reason I wanted to deal with that is it made my truck sound like some old piece of crap, just pop, 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 pop everywhere. So one of the other things I want to get dealt with is getting all the leaves and junk out of the back of the bed, because I do not like trucks where their beds are dirty. Yeah, that's clean enough for me, because, you know, crap's still going to get back here over time. I just don't like having that huge clutter, and I especially don't like having miscellaneous garbage in the back of my truck like this.